Hey y'all, it's Vintage Vinny, and I am back. Welcome to a small antique mall haul. Didn't find a whole lot of stuff, but I'm still very satisfied with what I did purchase. I do apologize if I've been MIA for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I haven't really been at any of the live sales, being cheeky or anything like that. This holiday season was different compared to the past ones that I've worked. I was up basically at 6:15 in the morning every day for about a week and a half, and I got off at 4, which was nice because it was kind of like set in place. Although by the end of the day, each day, I'd be exhausted. I just didn't want to have anything to do with social media or anything like that. So that's why I was basically not even here up until Comfy Cozy Living's New Year's extravaganza. So there is one item that I bought that you'll see at the very end of this video, and I'll kind of explain to you all why I decided to be a little bit extravagant about it. So, working in retail is a bit of a difficult time because plenty of people are out shopping despite the fact that there's a pandemic going on. And yeah, there's just a lot of craziness, people buying and returning and the whole 9 yards. So it was one of my Saturdays off because I just worked Monday through Friday for the crazy period of December. And I wasn't finding a whole lot at the thrift stores. I mean, there was one store that I did get some things. I got some vintage Christmas ornaments, which you'll see right when we start the video. And other than that, the other stores were just completely dry. So I hit all the antique stores that I could, So you'll see all that stuff. And then at one of the places that I went to, just this one older gentleman was being really anal about the arrows. You know how a lot of the stores now will have arrows saying, only go this way in this aisle, or go this way in another aisle. Well, nobody really follows it, and we know it's for social distancing, which, of course, is, proper way to try to make sure we're not spreading what's going around right now. And, even before everything that was going on, I would go up and down an aisle a certain way. Like, let's say, let's say these are the two aisles. I would go this way if this is the left. I sometimes can never figure out which hand to use. So this is the left aisle. I'll look at everything or all the booths on this side, and then I will go around and I'll come and look at all the booths that are on that side. So this older guy, and I have, I'm a pretty respectful person, at least I think I am. And he kind of just like, I've seen you in here, not following the arrows for social distancing. And the aisles are pretty narrow themselves, so, that's hard to do anyway. So I was just I played dumb and I was like, oh, okay, I didn't even see that. Or I didn't, yeah. And I'm kind of muttered under my breath. I was like, mind your business. Don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown adult. And, so forth. And I muttered a few choice words under my breath. I would never say it directly to somebody because that doesn't do anything. But that really just put me in a mood. And on top of not finding stuff and, wasting my gas and my time. So that really kind of set me off. So that's probably why I decided to be a little bit more extravagant than I normally would. So let's bring up the vibe for this haul and let's go ahead and see what I found. So we're going to start off with a little bit of thriftage. These are Christmas ornaments. As I mentioned before, I was just so busy, I just did not have any time to film anything or do any live sales or anything like that. So I went to this one store. Christmas was 50% off. Actually, I got these ornaments for 40% off because they were originally 99 cents each. And then they got marked down to 59 cents each. So we've got an elephant, and I believe these are probably from the 60s, 70s. So we've got an elephant, we've got a mushroom house, and they've got sequins and all kinds of other like fancy schmancy craft work on them. And then I've got three pixie, prixie, whatever you want to call them. So I got three of those. Two of them are in red and one is in green. And they're losing sequins. This one I like the most. The kitty. And he's got a pipe cleaner tail. Actually, I think more like she. She's got a pipe cleaner tail, so I thought she was really cool. And then these two right here are Kurt Adler. And they say Kurt Adler, where's the tag on this one? Right here. Right underneath it says Kurt Adler. That's going to be really hard to see, so I apologize for that. Kurt Adler, made in Japan. It might show better on this one. It's on the hook. But yes, there's Kurt Adler, Japan. I don't know that these have any like major resale value, but I do know that some Kurt Adler pieces, depending on if they're retired or if they're just weren't a lot of them made, they can be worth some pretty big bucks. So that's everything that I picked up from the thrift store the last time I went. After hitting all of the thrift stores and not really finding anything except for those ornaments, I decided to hit all of my vendor malls / mini antique malls that we have here in town. And the place I got this 16 magazine from, I actually got two gifts. One has already been given and the other one is sitting with a pile of friend mail to send to somebody. So what I got for one of my coworkers, she is really, really into the butterfly gold Pyrex, the nesting bowls, the Cinderella bowls, anything Pyrex. She's not crazy about Corelle, but she likes the Pyrex. So I saw the three, actually it was only three of them, there should have been four, but I got them for like 30 bucks and then they were 20% off, so I only paid $24 for the set of three. So I felt that that was a fair price, so I went ahead and bought those and gave them to her as a Christmas gift. And then there's one other item, which I don't want to say what it is because it'll ruin the surprise for the person who's getting them. So I picked up this 16 magazine. It's from February of 1967. If you remember a while back, I bought a whole bunch of these magazines from a different antique mall. The cover for this one was in with all the other magazines, but the actual magazine was not. Like the contents of the magazine weren't in there. So I was really happy to see this one. It had been sitting at this particular vendor mall for a while, and I decided to go ahead and just buy it. It was about $5 and change. With the sale, it was originally $7, and then they, added their discount. Always fun stuff. The images on the outside of these magazines are just fun. You can frame them, you can look them up, you can put them on your coffee table. There's so many things you can do with them. So it looks like we've got all the monkeys, and then we've got Cher. Unless one of these is Bobby Sherman. I don't know. But yeah, that's still very, very cool. Found this Land O'Lakes sweet cream butter recipe box. It was like $6 and change, like $6.36, something like that. I don't have my receipts in front of me, so I can't tell you exactly, but I can give you a somewhat of an idea. So as you all know, we do not have a Native American as the mascot for Land O'Lakes anymore. And I just saw this and I knew that, it's not worth a lot of money, but 25, 30 bucks is still pretty good. Now I will be keeping this for myself. I know that I'm filming this rather late because, again, like I said in the beginning, the holiday season got crazy, my hours were really, really early, and I just come home exhausted. But, yeah. I just have seen, actually I saw a reproduction of this today. I went to a different market, or like indoor flea market type place, and I saw a reproduction of this box, so I was happy to see an original one a few weeks earlier. So yeah, that was a good find. From that same mall, I picked up this clock here. I think it's an alarm clock. It's made by Arco, Luminous, and if you don't or can't see that, West Germany. And there is $5 is what I paid for that. I will look this up, and if it doesn't happen to be anything, I will more than likely be selling it at a live. For $10, I picked up an Old Spice shave mug with 2 brushes. I felt that that was a very fair price because that's about $3.33 per item. And usually people want like $8, $10 just for the shaving mugs themselves. So to get the mug and the 2 shaving brushes for $10, I can usually lot these up with maybe like a razor that's not worth a ton of money and maybe a couple packs of blades that my dad will usually give me for the sales, and I can sell the mug and the brush and the razor and the shave mug, or like the packs of blades for like $15, maybe $18, depending on what I put in there. So that was a good pickup. This will probably go in my junk jar. It's a snowman tin, Hallmark, probably from the 1970s. I think that was like $1.25. I can't resist the Hallmark snowmen. I think they're really, really cute. And they're just fun to wear, and I know a lot of people remember these. I got the movie Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think this movie came out in the late 90s. Yeah, I think it says 1996, so that was a year after I was born. But this was a fun movie. I remember watching this several years ago. You know, you've got the classics from the 90s, and then you've got the classics like It's a Wonderful Life. Or, you know, any of those other, like, White Christmas. Things like that. And the last thing that I picked up from that booth, I've never seen a candlestick in this color before, like that jade green. So this cost me $5, and I felt that that was worth paying because, like I said, I've never seen them in green before, and I think that'll just look really, really cool amid my vintage Christmas displays. So I've got one more item to share with you all, and then, based on the title of this video, yes, I was pretty extravagant, and I'll explain why. So I did buy a very snooty, entitled-looking pixie. Either he's really snooty or entitled, or he just is really happy to be who he is. And I did pay $10 firm for him. I bought something else that's not vintage that's going to sell for well over what I spent for just the 2 items, so I had no problem paying up for this, knowing that something else is going to pay for him, so yeah. So let me go ahead and show you the 2 extravagant items that I picked up. So many, many months ago, right after everything started opening back up, I visited this one antique mall, or vendor mall, I keep getting them mixed up, and I remember seeing this really awesome Necco Whorehound Squares candy jar, and I really liked it, but I wasn't really willing to spend what they were asking at the time. So I think maybe about a week after I had seen it, I went back to that same mall, and I noticed it was gone, and I was so disappointed. I guess maybe they just didn't have enough room because they had just the metal shelves for their space. They didn't have like a booth. So maybe what they were trying to do is put stuff that they know they would sell and just make room for it instead of having something that may just sit. So they took it away, and I thought someone had bought it. So lo and behold, I visit this mall after like a month and a half, 2 months of not being there, and there it was. It was sitting there, and what I really like about it is, I think this is called skyscraper glass, and I just think it's really cool. And it was only $30. Now, a couple of the antique malls that are in my area have these, and they don't even have the paper label on them. They want like $65, $95, and if it has the paper label, it's worth it, but I don't think you're going to get somebody in my town to pay that much for it. Now, I've seen ones with the paper label on them On eBay, some of them go for about 75 to 85, so they're on point with what they're asking, but they're just not going to be able to get it in the place that they're selling it. And I thought $30 was a great price, so maybe this wasn't too extravagant, but based on what I've seen at other malls and continue to see, $30 was a great price. I'm thinking maybe I can use this for either a junk jar or I may sell it. I haven't decided yet. And the lid is in really good condition as well. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's got some dings and dents. It's in a little dirty, but it's still in great shape. So 30 bucks was well worth it in my opinion. So now, and the last item for this haul is going to be this really awesome aluminum Christmas tree. In the original box, as you can see, the box is roached, like it either just came out of somebody's attic or something like that. And I did spend $150. If you remember, way back at the beginning of this video, I explained exactly what happened and why I decided to be a little bit more extravagant than I normally would. And after visiting one of our local antique malls, there were some people who had these for like $285, upwards of about $325. So 150 bucks was still a steal of a deal. So I went ahead and bought that because I wanted to make someone's holiday season, and someone put me in a mood. Go figure. I was going to put this together for you all, but let me tell you, getting this thing put in its box at the vendor mall was a nightmare. And it would take me a long time to just put this thing up and then have to take it all down again. But yeah, I mean, despite it being a little bit more than I'm willing to usually spend, I still think I did pretty well. So that is my small little haul. Let me know in the comments below, what was your favorite item that I picked up? So that's all I have for you today. Be sure and give this video a big thumbs up, leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure and click the bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to get notified when new videos are uploaded. Be sure and check me out on Instagram, the link to it is down below as well, where you will see pictures of items to come in future haul videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye guys!